Have you ever noticed how the love that didn't happen often feels bigger or more important than the love that actually did, right? Unrequited love. Well, of course, because unrequited love lives in fantasy and projection and dreamland and potential and possibility, and it stays perfect. Whereas real love is full of things like dirty dishes and disappointments and difficult in-laws and, reality. Reality is not always exciting. Sometimes it is. And of course, when you're dealing with unrequited love, it's all about, the text that could come and the look that might mean something important. And it is intermittently reinforced, which is the most addictive pattern to the brain, right? So your brain is actually being taught to chase that kind of love, unrequited love, instead of having to deal with something real and what might happen with that. So you're not crazy if you're into unrequited love. You're actually just chemically addicted to this intermittent reinforcement and chasing. And I know you're going to tell me, but there's a connection. And maybe there is, right? Or maybe you are building a cathedral out of a glance and a conversation. Right? So here's the thing. It's okay if you're in unrequited love. It is. Sometimes we stay in that stuff for a while, right? Because we're learning about ourselves and our patterns and our dreams and our wishes, what we're comfortable with, what we can tolerate, not tolerate. And it is okay. If you are in unrequited love, it is okay to stay there for a while because you're learning about yourself. What I get worried about is when you start losing yourself, when you start erasing yourself. Because, the fantasy is, he's so deep and he's really wounded. But he understands me like no one else does because there's a connection. Whereas maybe the reality is that he's just texting you when he's bored. Maybe he's getting a little ego fix and he's just keeping you hooked long enough to make sure that you don't go away. He maybe isn't even trying to be a jerk. He's just not really thinking about what his actions might be doing to you. Or he might think, well, maybe they just like this kind of casual, intermittent reinforcement, right? Now, creative people often fall into unrequited love because creative people are creating the love, right? You're not just feeling the love, you're creating it. And so, if there's anything I could tell you, it is that if you are in an unrequited love relationship, I might take a look at what it is that you really want. If you really want that person in that unrequited love relationship, I might say, look at what it is you think that they are someday going to give you. And then decide for yourself, is it really about the person or what you think that they might someday give you? Because unrequited love, in my experience, and my experience with this is vast, personally and as a coach and as a woman who's just lived on planet Earth, most of the time, unrequited love remains unrequited. But if you dig in a little bit and ask yourself a couple questions, you might just meet somebody who can meet you at that creative place, who really wants to give you what you need because of you, who you are, not because of what you do for them.